Our first big storm system of the spring season is taking shape in southeastern Texas up over into Louisiana, and this is going to bring in some severe weather into tomorrow's forecast for this area. But first, it's starting to create havoc from Louisiana over to Mississippi and Alabama, where these red boxes indicate tornado watch boxes, where tornadoes are possible, as well as other types of severe weather, possibly some severe winds as well. And some of these storms that are breaking away from the main thunderstorm complex up towards the north. This whole thing is going to slide off towards the east over the next 12 to 24 hours, and it's going to create some rainfall, especially as we head into tomorrow's afternoon rush hour here in Tallahassee. And this area is all being watched for severe weather. Here's the outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. Everything here in yellow is what they call a slight risk for severe weather, or better yet, an enhanced chance for some stronger winds and an isolated tornado here for the evening hours and into tomorrow morning. Now this whole thing is going to slide off towards the east, and it's going to kind of follow this stationary front that's draped across the northern Gulf Coast. This whole thing is going to lift off towards the north. We could see some isolated tornadoes and some stronger wind gusts into early tomorrow morning for the central Gulf Coast before this whole thing slides into our area. Now tonight we're going to see some stronger winds coming off the south, off the Gulf, and that's going to allow for higher moisture content as well as some soupier air to head in from the south, and that's going to allow a lot more energy to flow into the area, and that's going to allow for some severe weather into tomorrow afternoon. Here at 1 o'clock, we're going to see a strong line of thunderstorms push in ahead of that cold front, which will be parked off towards the west. We're going to see some damaging winds and possibly even some very heavy rainfall. Now, the National Weather Service has forecasted that 2 to 4 inches of rainfall could happen in parts of Georgia and Alabama as well. And this is all going to slide off towards the east, and we could pick up possibly 1 to 2 inches of rain here in Tallahassee and across the Big Bend on the Florida side of the border here as well. So it's going to be possible for some flooding on the roadways as well as on the rivers, which are already a little bit saturated. This whole thing is going to slide off towards the east during the evening hours and get out of our way by midnight tonight, or midnight tomorrow night rather, before that cold front gets out of the area. Now, when it does, we're going to see some cooler as well as some breezier air come into the area, and we're going to see some cooler air by the middle parts of this week. Now, we're not going to clear out right away, but those clouds will start to fall away as we head into the afternoon hours. Here's our severe weather threat broken down for you. The biggest threat for tomorrow afternoon will be the higher winds, possibly 60 to 70 miles an hour as we head into tomorrow afternoon with some of those stronger storms. There will be a slight possibility of an isolated tornado in some of those storms, especially closer to the water and across the Apalachicola River towards the west. And across the Apalachicola River, we could also see some flooding. Again, as I mentioned, 2 to 4 inches of rainfall in some of our Georgia and Alabama counties out there. And some of those rivers are going to fill up, and they may flood as well as we head into the middle of the week with all of that water heading down towards the Gulf of Mexico. For tonight, though, we're looking at 62 degrees with muggy and mild conditions. Again, that soupy air is starting to filter on into the area from the Gulf of Mexico, and there will be a slight chance of a shower or two, especially farther to the west, closer to that low-pressure center. Winds are going to be starting to gust 5 to 10 miles an hour with gusts upwards of 15 to 20 miles an hour, and those are really going to increase during the afternoon hours tomorrow. If you're heading out onto the waters, which I really don't recommend, there is a small craft advisory with winds 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts 30 to 35 miles an hour out there on the Gulf. 4 to 6 foot seas. Again, it's going to be very choppy out there, and those thunderstorms aren't going to help at all during the afternoon hours as that whole storm system moves on by. If you're a land lover like I am, breaks and clouds during the early morning hours for that rush hour into work with a mild start at 65 degrees. Rain chances will be coming up during the afternoon hours with severe weather building by the late afternoon into the early morning hours. Now, if we have a few more breaks in the clouds than I'm currently forecasting, we could see possibly 80, 81 degrees, but I don't currently see that happening because of all of the cloud cover that'll be lurking in the area. If we do make it to 80 degrees, those severe weather chances do come on up because of the added energy in the air with that extra heat. For the next 5 days, we're looking like this. We will clear out on Tuesday afternoon rather, but we will also cool off towards the middle of the week into the low 40s for lows Some of our models are saying upper 30s, believe it or not, even in April for early Thursday morning, but will warm right back up to near 80 degrees by Friday afternoon.